Hi and welcome to our latest video. It's been a while, so I hope you're all well. Given Brexit, for those of you with a good memory, and the pandemic, the legislation around housing and property investment has been a little bit quiet for a while. However, that's all changed this month. It's now February 2022 and the government have just released a white paper called Levelling Up. This is a paper which covers lots and lots of different topics, and I'm not going to cover them all here. I'm just going to focus on those elements that impact us as property investors. Now, as you probably will have seen from my previous videos, there has been the threat of Section 21 notices being abolished in England. This has already happened in Scotland, so there is a precedent for this, and this happened many years ago. The Renters Reform Bill has been kicking around Parliament since before Brexit, but with everything else going on has not yet made it through to an Act of Parliament. However, this new Levelling Up white paper signals that that is still the direction of travel for the current government. Therefore, I think it's a question of when, not if, Section 21 notices will be abolished in England. And this will effectively mean the end of assured short hold tenancies. This is also coming to pass in Wales in July of this year. So there's a new Act of Parliament coming into force in Wales this summer, which again effectively ends assured short hold tenancies in Wales. This will be replaced with a new contract where landlords have to guarantee at least 12-month tenure to tenants, but tenants can give notice of 28 days at any point during their tenancy. So we'll have to see what the details are in a future consultation for what the government is proposing in abolishing Section 21 notices in England. There's also a sentence in the Levelling Up white paper about creating a national landlords database. So there's already a rogue landlords database. I'm not sure how much that has been used, but this national landlords database will be for everybody. I'm guessing this is going to be very similar to the Rent Smart Wales legislation, which is already in place. In Wales, if you own a property that you rent out, you need to pay a fee to join their national landlord register. Other points, I know more people are getting into social housing, and that's a very popular strategy right now. This white paper does indicate that there will be additional standards that will be imposed on the social housing sector. So if that is an area that you are operating in or interested in, it's worth looking out for that as well. The white paper talks about decent home standards. There should be another consultation coming out in the spring to determine what this looks like. This will set minimum standards that all properties need to meet before they can be rented out. The white paper doesn't specifically say, but I'm guessing this could be linked into the EPC ratings for energy efficiency. It'll probably also cover some health and safety aspects of properties as well. On a minor point, if you have empty property in England, then the council tax premium will increase to 100% after 1 year, not after 2 years as it is currently. So this is the government and local councils trying to get empty properties back into use as quickly as possible. And finally, if you are involved in new builds, for example, or blocks of flats, leaseholds will be banned going forwards. So all properties will be freehold or common hold, and there will be further consultation on this as well going forwards. But if you are a small developer, for example, building some new houses, then you'll no longer be able to retain the freehold and offer the leasehold to the people purchasing the properties. Okay, so they're the headline impacts in terms of property investing. There are also some signals for potential opportunities for property investment as well. The government talks a lot about improving infrastructure. So the whole point of the Levelling Up paper is to reduce the inequality, income and education gap between the north and the south of the country. And in doing so, they are focusing on various infrastructure projects. Many of these are already up and running, like HS2, for example, but they're also talking about fast broadband rollout to areas that currently do not have this service. They mention free ports, which we mentioned a while ago in a previous video. These are, again, ports that are going to attract infrastructure investment. It's really worth having a look at some of these major projects and just seeing if they are close to the area where you're currently investing, or if you're looking for a new area to invest, these projects might signal some good up and coming areas where you can invest now and you can see some capital appreciation as the government invests in that area and improves infrastructure to that area, therefore creating more wealth in that area, creating more jobs. There is a line in the white paper about reforming the planning system. There have been announcements over the last 2 years about fairly significant reforms to the planning system. So it's not clear at this stage whether that's further reform or consolidating what's already been announced. The white paper does talk about more local involvement and engagement though. So they are looking to move the planning more online, make it accessible digitally, so that local people can access and get involved in planning applications. Now, whether this then means that there are some additional guidelines locally that you will need to meet if you are doing developments, this is something to keep an eye on. The white paper recognises that the conveyancing process is slow and cumbersome, and talks about making some key information that you need during the conveyancing process for buyers and sellers available digitally. Again, at this point, there's no further information, but hopefully this will speed up conveyancing in the future. A final opportunity that you might want to check out is £2.2 billion worth of funding made available through various grants and funds. These are aimed at improving the quality of properties. So, for example, there's a boiler upgrade fund, a social decarbonisation fund, and a home upgrade grant. If you are refurbishing distressed properties, it's always worth keeping in mind the upcoming changes to EPC ratings. So from 2025, properties will need to meet grade C or above in order to be rented out. So potentially there might be some funding, some grant funding, which means you don't have to pay it back, available through these funds. So if you are looking at refurbishment in the near future, it would definitely be worth checking out if there are any opportunities for you to take advantage of. So that's a very quick whistle-stop tour of the Levelling Up white paper. As more consultations or further information becomes available and we understand what impact that will have on us, on property investors, I'll let you know.